anybody has the ability to show the courage, get him the hell out of there if he doesn't resign. Let's get someone there who's going to care about the tenants and put the money in place, put a structure in place so that we can save people's homes and their livelihood. This can be New York State's darkest hour or its brightest. Peace and blessings. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 Next up, I would like to introduce my colleague representing the Great Teeth District in Brooklyn, State Senator Julia Salazar. Give it up.
Jabari. You know, the report released by the New York State Attorney General's office yesterday reminds us of something very important, which is that sexual harassment is fundamentally about abuse of power. And it is a pattern of the governor abusing his power. Thanks to the courageous women who shared their experiences with the investigators, we know about this form of the governor's abuse of power. But we have witnessed, anyone who's been to Albany has seen the many manifestations of the governor's abuse of power, and it needs to end now. It's not only about abuse of power, but also incompetence. And we have seen that incompetence on display again and again. Incompetence, cronyism. We see it in the utter failure to provide the rent relief that we passed this year in the budget. It has now been 4 months since the ERAP program was created, and everyone here around us can attest that they have not seen the relief that they deserve.
Not at all.
Tenants, New Yorkers deserve better than this. We as the legislature also have a responsibility. We need to return to session. We need to extend the eviction moratorium. We must do our part. And additionally, when the Assembly drafts articles of impeachment and votes to impeach the governor, those of us in the state Senate, along with the Court of Appeals, we will then have a responsibility to impeach the governor and to remove him from office. We are here demanding that the governor resign. These are not mutually exclusive demands. But most importantly, it's about the impact that these failures and that these decisions have on the people here and across the state of New York. We're not going to allow this to continue. The governor's days in public office are numbered. Thank you.
Give it up for Julia Salazar, everybody. Talking about incompetence. I tell you what, if Governor Cuomo had $2.723 billion to do his fancy bridge, to do Penn Station, to do one of his subway stations, do you think it would have taken 4 months to get even a trickle out? But when it comes to working class people, when it comes to black and brown people who are struggling to stay in their homes, where is the money? Show us the money! And keep people on the... Are we 10? Show us the money! 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 Next up, I want to introduce an incredible advocate from the Crown Heights Tenants Union, Miss Sharice. What do we want? Housing justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Housing justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Housing justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Housing justice. When do we want it? Now. Give it up for Sharice from the Crown Heights Tenants Union.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so thankful to be here. I appreciate it. Wow. Just like the public advocate said, what I have experienced and my family have experienced is absolutely an example of abuse of power. And a good example of that is my family in particular. My grandmother has lived in Crown Heights, Brooklyn since 1951.
All right, yeah.
And I've been, unfortunately, fighting. It feels like I've been fighting the city of New York for her right to stay in her home. But it's not just my grandmother. It's many other grandmothers. It's many other women, women with children, people of color, immigrants, people who have lost their jobs. And I've gone to the administrative people that are in charge and asked for help, and we've been denied over and over and over again.
That ain't right.
And last
That ain't right.
May, there was a lapse during the moratorium. And during that 2-day lapse, unfortunately, we were dragged into court. My grandmother's 97 years old. She shouldn't have to experience that at all.
That is correct.
Right. And it was based on abuse of power and abuse of authority.
Exactly.
And it has impacted our quality of life. We have been traumatized.
That's right.
And I'm sure everyone here has been traumatized because of this. So what does that do? It impacts your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health. Everything in your whole life is impacted. So myself, my mother, who's also a senior citizen, we have been fighting. And we should not have to fight because we pay taxes. My grandmother has worked for $11.99 for over 30 years at Kingsbrook Jewish Medical Center. This does not make any sense. It is her turn to get help, and she's been denied. And if it was not for Crown Heights, if it was not for my organization, I feel like crying. I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. I had to catch myself. Thank you. If it was not for Crown Heights Tenant Association coming to and just really being my anchor, I'm not sure what we would have done. And I'm so thankful. We have to demand as taxpayers. It should not be because we're not rich, that we should not get the same justice, we should not get the same services as everyone else, period. And even if we did not pay taxes, guess what? When people are in need and people need help, people are supposed to come. That is the government's responsibility to take care of the people. And they have failed us. And they should not be failing the people. We are the people, period. And we need help. And I have been traumatized getting help. I've been traumatized. So what we demand is that the governor expand the moratorium until June of 2022. Yeah. Period. So I would like to thank everyone for coming out, including all the people from the news. And I'd like to thank you for doing a great job. I appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Give it up again for Sharice from Crown Heights Tenants Union. Next up, I'd like to introduce a colleague of mine, one of the loudest rabble-rousers in the Assembly freshman class, Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher. Let's go. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Thanks, everyone. I'm Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher, and I represent the 50th District in Brooklyn, which covers Williamsburg, Greenpoint, and parts of Clinton Hill. And before I got this position, I too, as a renter, and continue to be a renter, struggling every month to pay my rent. And I know what a rent burden my community is having. And I took that with me to the Assembly. And my community elected me in part because they knew I could speak to what it meant to be struggling in our communities. And we took, every year, we take the budget and we look at it, and as the person who spoke before me was saying, we're taking tax money. That's all of our money. And we're saying, what do we do with our money? How are we going to spend our money? And you know what the legislature fought to do this year? We fought to make sure that we were paying back rent of tenants who were struggling. That's what we decided to do with our money. And the fact that it is not being delivered shows that the governor is either incapable or unwilling to support working people in a time of crisis that he helped create. And when I say that the governor helped to create this crisis, we all know what he was doing. He was giving some nice public addresses, but he was also writing a book, using our money to pay his staff to write his book to make millions of dollars. He was using our money to talk to lawyers and other people on our time when we were in an unmitigated crisis to see what we could be doing to protect his political career. And that continues. We have been in this crisis for over 17 months, and we're about to go into another wave of it. So you know what? If this is not the time to deliver for working people and show that you get what your job is about, which is the people of New York State, not your own ego, not your own career. It's about being a public servant. We serve the people. If you are not willing to put all your energy, effort, time into serving the people, then get out of office. Because this is what this office is for, and this is what we are here for. This state has never needed help more, and we need it now. We have a legislature that has been acting to try to help. We've been begging for it as a community since the pandemic began. This was not a surprise. We knew that this was coming. Day one of the pandemic, when the economy shut down, we said, cancel the rent. And they said no. So we said, well, help us figure out how to do the back pay then. We worked really hard to do that. We have state agencies that if they had more funding and more personnel and more staff, they could do this. But what did the governor choose to do? He chose to hire a consultant in Illinois to manage our money to save our state. And then he put his friend in there to help, to make more money. So what I'm saying is, it is time for the governor to resign. If he does not resign, I will help to push for impeachment. And we absolutely must, right now, figure out how to deliver our money to our people. Stop taking our money. Give it back to those who need it. Thank you.
Next up, we have Assemblyman Harvey Epstein. Give it up for Harvey Epstein. Come on, let's give it up for Jabari. What an amazing job he's doing out here. I want to thank Goals, good old Lower East Side, for my community coming out and strong. They're organizing every day, and the organizers put their lives on the line. People last week stood on the street to get arrested to bring attention to the issue of not having rent. Dalcenia Glover, one of those people who got arrested.
All right.
We have public housing residents who are being ignored by this governor. They are suffering every day, the 400,000 New Yorkers, where the state has not funded resources for public housing. They continue to suffer because of poor leadership. The message is clear to the governor. If he does not resign, we will impeach him. It is his decision. He cannot govern anymore. He has lost any ability to move forward in New York. He can no longer lead. He can't even give money to tenants that we've already allocated in March, to small businesses, to our black-owned businesses, to our excluded workers, billions of dollars that we allocated. He chooses to create a scam to do single contracts to his friends in Illinois, who's given out less than 1% of the money. What we need is a future that cancels the rent, that stops evictions, that stands up for people who can no longer stand up on their own. That is why you put us in office. That is why we're here. That is why we'll continue to be here. And if our colleagues in government can no longer stand with the people with the highest need, they need to get
that show me the money reference. That was good. That was good. This guy's unbelievable. Listen, I'm going to be very quick. Okay, so everyone said it before. I don't got to keep repeating it. But we're here because show us the money. June 1st, the portal opened. Since June 1st, our offices have been swamped and phone calls, people calling us asking for help, how to apply for this. And every single time they applied, they somehow messed up. I had one constituent come to my office who applied, wanted to get an application check. They said that the people told them that they didn't have a requested document. Okay, they said they submitted it. So then we called, literally within the same 5-minute time frame, and the application was fine, apparently. So the nonsense that's going on under this department is unacceptable. Okay, OTDA is the one who runs this. Guess who oversees OTDA? Governor Cuomo. Okay? Who appoints the commissioner? Governor Cuomo. Okay? So why is what happened yesterday and all the things that have been going on important? Because obviously what he's doing is wrong, but also how does it affect why we're here today with the housing stuff? Because he's clearly not doing his job before everything happened. Is he going to be doing his job now? This is why we have a problem. This is why we need new leadership, and this is why we'll continue to do that fight. And I'm really proud to be here with you all, and I will keep fighting. I know my colleagues will keep fighting to get this job done, because this is unacceptable. This is ridiculous. It's a joke. Thank you all.
Give it up again. Power to the people. Power to the tenants. 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 Next up, we have Fernando from New York Communities for Change. Fernando, you in? Unido, jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido, jamás será vencido. Just check it in. So we have Kim Statuto from CASA. Let's go! Kim Statuto from CASA.
Good morning. Why are we here? We don't want to get evicted. Nobody wants to lose their home. Are the co-owners losing their homes? I don't think so. We asked for cancel rate last year. You denied us. We asked you to extend the eviction moratorium. You gave us a little bit. Where's the money that ERAP has on hold since June? Since June, Bronx has the highest eviction rate right now. I am from the Bronx. Do I want to see my people in the street? No. Do I want to see anybody in the street? No. Do I want to see Cuomo resign? Yes. Okay? We are the people that elected you. We are the people that gave our trust to you. And you have failed us. 8 years already. Do we need 4 more? I don't. Do I need to see my families, the young families that have jobs, that were made to work during a pandemic, but still couldn't pay rent, put on the street? No, not at all. We are asking for you to cancel this rent. We are asking you to cancel the rent. We are asking you to deliver the money you have already been given to these landlords so these people can sleep at night. To sleep peacefully at night. Now wondering when that knock is going to come on the door from a marshal or a paper being served. Don't tell me you don't know the prices. You know it. But you're more concerned about keeping your reputation and your rich people happy.
That's right.
Okay? That's what we don't want this no more. Okay? Housing is a human right for everybody. Not just the elite. Housing is a human right. I have a right to a home just like you do. I have a right to security just like you do. Many of us have been lived out in security, especially if you've been in your building forever. We don't have the security we need right now. Stop the bullshit and get these landlords this money. Stop it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Bringing the fire from the Bronx. Cancel rent. Cancel rent. Cancel rent. Cancel rent. Cancel rent. Cancel rent. Next up is a woman you may have seen on the cover of City and State. She's one of the real ones, but she's been fighting for years. The one, the only Assemblywoman Yuh-Line Niou. She's doing an interview. Listen. Fight, fight, fight. Housing is a human right. 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 Fight, fight, fight. Housing is a... Cuomo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. 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 What do we want? What do we want? Housing justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Because el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 One more chance, give it up for Yuh-Line, 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 Yuh-Line. All right, she's coming soon. So I just want to let you all know, I know I'm ready to get back to Albany. I'll tell you later. Everybody give it up for Yuh-Line Niou.
Hi guys! Hi everyone! It's good to see everyone here. You know why? Because it means that we're loud, it means that we're here, it means that we're present, and we are fighting to make sure that we get that money. This is money that your house, my house, we both passed and make sure that it's coming to New Yorkers, right? This is money that every single person here has fought for and that we deserve to have, right? We need to make sure that this money is getting down to us and that, you know, that we're actually able to keep people in their homes. Now more than ever, we know that the numbers are going up, that people are getting sick, that we are needing to make sure that people are housed. We have kids here, we have families here, we have folks here who have been fighting day in and day out, and we have the most amazing housing advocates. And let's give our housing advocates a round of applause. Because, true, this is not a perfect bill, true, but at the same time, we have made it so that our state is covering the rent. Our state is covering the rent so that people can stay in their home. And right now, we don't have a further eviction moratorium, which we need to bring back to the legislature.
to figure out what is wrong with our process to where literally $0 have gone out for Iraq.
Cancel the rent.
We need to make sure that we are able to have our families in homes, and we need to make sure that we continue to fight. I want to thank every single elected official and every single advocate, every single person, every single child who's out here fighting today. Because without you, we don't have a movement. And this is the movement that is changing New York right now. This is the movement that is needed on the streets, because right now we are seeing, I have received endless calls. You have received endless calls. We have received endless calls in our offices where people are begging us for help because people are being evicted, people are losing their homes, people are finding that they are not having enough resources to feed their families. We are seeing time after time after time that, you know, that we have not done the right thing here. And every single eviction is a policy failure. Every single person on the street is a policy failure. Every single time somebody goes hungry, it's a policy failure. And that's on us. And I want to say that, you know, we bear the brunt of this responsibility, and we have to be the ones to fix it. I want to thank you for being here today. And this must end. Thank you.
The people will rise. We will rise.
The people will rise. Say it again. The people will rise. Listen, y'all heard from some of the dopest housing advocates, some of the dopest legislators. Listen, New York City got some of the best. So I don't have much to add other than I know I'm ready to get back to Albany ASAP to extend the moratorium and impeach the governor. So if you're fired up, make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise. Let's go. Thank you. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of tenants, cause the power of tenants don't stop. Give it up. Saying stop the transfers, stop the sweeps, and pass HAVP. Y'all are amazing. Have a good day.
That's it for today. We're going to wrap it up, but we're going to be back, right?
So, today is the beginning of a month of action, a month of demonstrations. We're not going to stop until the evictions have been banned, until next year, until rent is canceled, and until we abolish evictions in working class New York forever. So our next demonstration is August 11th, a week from today, 10 a.m. at 250 Broadway. We're going to make that government building shake, just like we made it shake today. So we'll see you in the streets next Wednesday. Solidarity forever.
get the ERAP money? Did you apply?
You know, I asked somebody to do it for me yesterday because I'm not doing it.
Right. Yes, it is complicated. Do you know who your representative is? Public advocate? Do you know? Oh, what part of Brooklyn? NYC. All right. Okay. Yeah, no, you should be able to apply. Yeah. Yeah, that's the money. Yeah. Take it down. Alright. That's the whole thing. Oh, yeah. That's the whole thing. We allocated $2.7 billion. I know, yeah, the government's there. The whole program is going
What is the point of it being allocated for eviction second?
Yeah. 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 That's what we're saying. We got to get the money out because it's the it's the governor's program at this point to execute. So we're like, that's not yeah. Yeah. I should have given you the mic to say, yeah, governor, hurry up. Yeah. So he can't.